Hello dear friends, welcome to my channel, and if you're coming back from having visited me before, thank you so much for joining me again. My name's Colleen, and today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of decoupage onto some pebbles. So you'll notice that the pebbles I've just given one coat of paint. It's a very rough coat of paint. You could do more coats of paint if you so wish, but for today's purposes I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to be using today some napkins on my stones. Now, because the stones are white, I'm able to get napkin images on pretty easily. Normally with a napkin, you're going to actually have to separate 3 layers of your napkin. So you'll see it's got a couple of different plies here, and we normally would only stick the top layer down. So when you take the white backing and you put it up against a stone, you'll see that the image is actually quite nice and clear. And if you've got a white backing on here, it should stay the same. However, if you had a color underneath, like a black or a red, it wouldn't work as well. The next thing that you're going to need to consider when you're choosing your images to go onto your stones, bearing in mind that we're working with napkins, is that you need to make sure that they are going to fit onto your surface. So I have here this little napkin which I've been using for quite some time. That's got these lovely little blocks of different color Christmas decorations, reds and greens, and all in little hearts. And what I've done is that I've cut the blocks out, and then I've actually cut out some of the hearts. So you'll see here I've cut out 3 heart images, and my reason for doing this is that it's quite difficult with napkins to get something that's square to go over a curved surface. That's the first reason. The second one is also that I just prefer the shape of the heart. So this one has a white backing, and you'll see that that will go on quite nicely, but because it's going to be wrinkling if I leave that on, in fact it's got 2 layers or 2 ply at the back of this, I'm going to just gently peel those off, and I can throw those away. I don't need them. I think this little one I've done already. Yeah, I've done that one already, so that one will go on perfectly, and then this one I need to do as well. So you're just wanting to remove this. If you start putting glue on, you're going to find that it just puckers and it makes a horrible big mess. The process is quite simple. You're going to need to have a nice soft brush. This is just a synthetic fiber known as Tacklon. You're going to need some matte medium or some podge to be able to work with, and just a little bit of patience and some time. So I'm going to apply my matte medium directly to my brush, and then I'm going to position my image where I want it on the stone. I'm putting it down dry because it's a very, very thin napkin, and the glue is just going to go through the matte medium. And I'm going to hold it down securely. I'm starting at the center, working my way outwards, and just brushing that so that all the edges are sealed down. And you'll see that that goes on really easily and no wrinkles. You must never ever work with a brush that's getting dry with napkins, because you're just going to find that you're lifting everything up. So I'm going to leave that completely until it's dry, and then I will come over and put some matte varnish over that once it's completely dry. We're going to do the second one now, and let's see what we're going to do. I think we'll do a little heart on here. So this one I'm just going to position the heart here, holding it securely on one side. Brush it across the widest part. That's usually your best bet, and then use your brush just to stretch it out. Now, because each stone is a different shape, you might find sometimes you get a slight little crease like that, which is why I didn't go for the square shape of this. But obviously you can cut and snip into the serviette or the napkin if you so wish. But there we go, that's gone on pretty easily. And then we'll do the third one quickly, which is our little snowman. Now once this is dried, if you wanted to write a little message on there, or you wanted to decorate it in any other way, you could add some paint around it, maybe a bit of sponging. That's also fine, but just let this dry completely. So hold it securely with your fingers, work around the widest part, top to bottom, and one coat over it. Very, very easy process. Okay, so don't fiddle with it. Just make sure that you've smoothed out any bits that might have thick matte medium. If you've got a little wrinkle, just leave it. probably won't be noticeable once it's dry, and we're going to come back to this, and I will varnish this once it's dry, and then I will actually show you what it all looks like. Quick and easy, nice to do with family and friends.